Radio Live. We're over to the studios of the amazing Bob Ayers today. Bob is, as you saw, the gold record that he had on the wall with Mariah Carey. Bob is sure does represent a background of professional musicianism. And we'll be right back with more Bob Ayers. And we're back with Bob Ayers. Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Tell us a little bit about your experience when you recorded that gold record with Mariah Carey.
Oh, with Mariah. Okay, that was interesting. You see, my best buddy, my buddy at the time, his wife recorded that song, and they got a hit out of it. And they played it every Valentine's Day. So Tony Mottola came to us and said, listen, I want Mariah to do this song. He was, Mariah's manager at that time, and eventually came to be her husband too, I think. Anyway, he said, listen, I want Mariah to do this thing, and I can't think of nobody better to produce it than you guys, because you did a good job on the last one, and you can do the same thing with this one. So we was excited about that, and we put it together and did it for her. Nothing extra special happened during that session. It was pretty straightforward. She's very easy to work with. She, very cooperative, and everything went smooth.
Well, that's great. When a record goes gold, that means it was played, or you sold over 500,000 copies. That is an amazing situation to have done that. And to that, we applaud you and salute you. Now, we understand that you are in the process of coming out with another CD for the Bob Ayers. And what would be the name of your group?
It's the Bob Ayers Band.
The Bob Ayers Band. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wanted to say that, but excellent. That's good. So you guys are going to come out with a CD probably at the end of this year or very before the end of 2018?
Yeah, we're trying to get it done before this year's out for sure.
That'd be excellent. We would want to come back at that time and do a follow-up interview with you. Yeah. And also, we might want to note that you also have other family members in the entertainment business, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your family members and what they're doing now?
Well, you're talking about Felicia.
Felicia.
Yeah. Well, Felicia.
You might want to tell us her last name.
Felicia Richard.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, it was Felicia. Her real name is Felicia Ayers or Allen. When Felicia went to Howard, in Washington, and when she graduated, she came to New York right away to start working, and she was the lead vocalist in my band. And so her first one of her first professional jobs was she was the vocalist with my band, and her sister Debbie, she used to come and she was always in the audience with us. She hadn't made her big move at that time as of yet. What she did later, she's doing that dance thing and a lot of stuff she does. She's doing a lot of production now, producing and that kind of stuff. But that was a fun thing there. We did that.
Well, that was tremendous. It seems like the talent really runs in the family. I know you're indeed proud and honored to be a part of such a dynamic dynasty of entertainers and musicians. That is awesome. Okay, so y'all, we got Bob Ayers here, and we were going to ask Bob to play a little bit and take us to the break, but we'll be right back with more Bob Ayers.
See, okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Ayers. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Mr. Bob Ayers.
Thank you.
Are you ready? No. Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Mr. Bob Ayers want to tell you about some of his amazing adventures. Especially when you were music director for RCA.
Yeah, for RCA Victor. That's been a while ago. That was back in the 70s, yeah. I had about nine of the artists that I was responsible for, and for recording and performances. We performed all over the world, and they did a lot of recording. People, I don't remember all of them. I remember Percy Mayfield. He was one of my artists. Remember the Swordsman?
Yeah.
The two guys, yeah, they were two of my artists. Sonny Till,
Yeah.
You Saw Him Crying in the Chapel. D.D. Warwick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who else? I had a group of them. That's been a while ago.
Intruders.
Huh?
Didn't you spend some time managing or producing the Intruders?
Oh yes, Intruders. That was not too long ago. That wasn't too. I was a musical director for the Intruders, and we toured all over the United States. We prepared some. We did some recording, and matter of fact, we did a Christmas song that never got a chance to get out. It's called "Christmas to Me." I was in my garage yesterday, a couple of days ago, looking at it. I saw that music there, and I wrote most of the music for it. And some of the Intruders, Fred Daughtry was one of the guys. He did some of the lyrics on it, but we never got a chance to record it. They were, not, their health wasn't too good at the time, and Bird died, and then Fred died, so they passed away, and that kind of finished that. But we had a lot of fun while we were doing it.
Well, how about your buddy George Benson?
Oh, well, George and I started out together. We were the house band at Count Basie's in New York, and that was a really interesting time because we were the house band. We played there we did a Sunday afternoon matinee, and we did a Monday night session. And at that time, that club was very popular. All of the big name artists came in there. I mean, you name it. Jimmy Smith, Wes Montgomery. Matter of fact, I got to know Jimmy pretty good. Jimmy was one of my teachers. I was playing the Hammond organ at that time. I was back in I was in my 20s, and he was teaching me a lot of stuff about the Hammond organ. Then I was working with Charlie Early.
Yes, Charlie Early.
And Charlie, he was a mechanic. He liked to work on organs, break them down and stuff. And Charlie and I took a Hammond organ, the big wooden one, and broke it down and made a portable out of it. I got a picture of it. I'll show you sometime. I can locate it. And but we had a lot of fun with that. But George was in the band there. He was in the band. We played together there on Sunday afternoon matinees and Monday nights. And George was playing all around Harlem there. He did a lot of work at Minton's Playhouse and the Club Baron, which was on the opposite corner from Count Basie's. But back in them days, it was right different from now. And Lou Donaldson he used to come by, and he used to teach us a lot about music and a lot about the music business. He was working with a lot of us young guys, because he was older than us, and he was trying to get us on the right footing. And see, George always recorded his stuff. George had a Ampex reel-to-reel tape recorder, and he had two Shure mixers, and he had the shopping the cart that you have in your house that you serve food with.
Yeah.
He had one of those, and he had that Ampex reel-to-reel tape recorder in the middle, and he had the mixers on the end, and he recorded everything he played. When we come to rehearsal, before he set up his amp and guitar, he would set up that recording stuff and got that going. Then he would get his guitar and set up his amp stuff. But he recorded everything back in them days. You probably still got that stuff, I bet you.
I bet.
I bet you still got the stuff from back in them days. But we were doing a lot of stuff, and he was doing. We were all struggling musicians at that time, And Wes Montgomery died, and when Wes died, they appointed George to fill that slot. So George moved right into that slot. So he was the #1 guitar player. After Wes died, he moved right into that.
Well, that's an amazing story. ATL Live, you heard it right here on this YouTube network. And we have the legendary Mr. Bob Ayers telling his story. And we're going to have Bob play us on out to the end of the segment here. But thank you so very much, Bob, for sharing your story. We really appreciate you, and we love your music. And look forward to your next CD. We'll be back and to catch you after your CD's done. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Ayers.